Yeah, and difficult for that character, for police officers, and I think for James, speaking of difficulty, I feel like creating the show, and it's inspired on by true events, but they're not quite exactly what happened, of course. So can you tell me more about the responsibility there and the difficulty of making the show, but again, not fully based on the true events?
Yeah, I mean, it was difficult, but then it should be difficult because it's not my personal tragedy, and this is real people's trauma. So yeah, I made the decision, having spoken to some of the real people involved, including the police officers that David spoke to, and the family who are inspired by the first killing of the striking miner, their father. It felt I've done a lot of real life stories and put real people on stage and screen, including things like The Crown, where you're dealing with the Queen and very familiar people. But because these are private individuals and their tragedy felt quite private, and because I was a neighbour, this is my town, my family. I can't actually imagine. Maybe you know one, but I can't imagine other examples where the writer of a true crime story was in the village at the time and lived a few streets away.
I can't think of one.
I can't think of one. So I felt that very keenly, and so the choice, actually, I know, well, I'm making it sound too worthy, because obviously the other choice you have to make as a creative is that you also do want the freedom to investigate all the things that really interested me. So I wanted to manufacture, as David mentioned, I wanted to manufacture a police relationship between a police detective and his father, who was a miner, and the shame that he feels over having picked a different path and that being drawn up by this crime. You want the freedom to get to a different kind of truth, and also not hurt, and no one goes into this to hurt or cause pain. I didn't want to cause extra pain to the people who are involved. So we took the core essence of this story, multiple killings in a mining community where there were divisions, and the re-arrival decades later of the Metropolitan Police, like David said, created danger there. That's the kernel of it, and outlaws in Sherwood Forest who are armed and dangerous. And then the rest was, these are my characters, these are my families. I've invented them in order to explore the issues and the themes that I wanted to do, and to distance it from the real people who I grew to care about and wanted them to not be too re-traumatized by it.